Hello, welcome back to NX tutorial. In this video tutorial, we will learn how to create three different simulation types using one finite element model. So in here, we're going to create finite element model, and then we're going to use to create linear static, linear buckling, and free vibration. So we will create simultaneously all those three types of simulation. So it means we can save it all under one project. Now, for example, in here, the road sim is the simulation model. In here, we have a three active solution. First is linear static, buckling simulation, and free vibration. For linear static simulation, we have the bearing load and fixed constraint. And for the linear buckling simulation, we have a bearing load as a test load and also fixed constraint. Meanwhile, for free vibration, we have no load and no constraint. Now for the first active solution, SOL101 linear static, in here we're going to use the bearing load as a compressive load and using RBE3 as a connector element, and we're going to give fixed constraint on one node at the end of RBE3 element. Now for the default output in here, we can see there's a structural, rotation, stress elemental nodal, reaction force, reaction moment. We also can add some kind of output in here. We call it output request. We can add acceleration, we can add electric strain, and so on. So it means that this is the default output, and we can add more to get another output in the structural output request. Now for the second active solution, SOL105 linear buckling, in here we're going to use the bearing load as a test load, and still the same RBE3 and then fixed constraint at the end of RBE3. Now for the buckling simulation output, we have two subcase. The first is subcase static and second subcase buckling method. For the subcase static, is exactly same like SOL101 linear static. So this is the mandatory calculation as in SOL105 buckling simulation. Because if compression load applied on the structure, then the structure itself can be failure due to one of cause. For example, the static failure or the buckling failure. So it means that when you have the compressive load, you must consider also the buckling failure. For the second subcase, in here we have a buckling method. The buckling method consists of first 10 buckling modes. Here, mode 1, 2, 3 until 10. By default, only 10, but we can customize it to find more or less than 10. The mode itself is unitless. Now for the formula, we have critical compression force that cause buckling failure is mode value unitless times the test load. So it means that if the mode value is 5, the test load is 1000 Newton, so the critical compression force is 5 times 1000 Newton is 5000 Newton. Now for the third active solution, SOL103 free vibration, we have a free model. It means that we have no load and constraint present in this FEM model. For free vibration output, we have two types. First is rigid body frequencies and the second is flexible body frequencies. Rigid body frequencies is related to 6 DOF or degree of freedom. That is why we get 6 modes that have value near 0. The mode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We can consider near 0 if the value is 0.001 or less. The rigid body frequency is a good way to check finite element model quality before we start any free vibration simulation, so we can check based on these values. If all the 6 values near 0, it means we are good to go. If one or more value is not near 0, for example 0.1, we need to check, remove any constraint exists in the FEM model. And the second, now we have flexible body frequencies, start from mode 7. The flexible body frequencies itself can be infinite. example 7, 8, 9, 10 until 15. In this case, I can add become 20, 50, and so on. Therefore, we can limit before simulation how many we need to search in here, or we can define the upper limit frequencies we need to find. In this case, for example, we limit to first 15 natural frequencies. This is include the Gilbert frequencies, or we can limit up to 10,000 hertz. So it means that we can limit based on the two condition, the mode 1 to 15 or more, or we can the lower 0 and the highest is 10,000. We're gonna simulate this part, the connecting load. We're gonna create 3 different types of simulation. First is start to create FEM and SIM files. We go to application. We start with pre and post. We click this one, new FEM and simulation. We uncheck the checkbox in here. Make sure we uncheck this one. Since we do not edit any CAD geometry in this part, we do not need to create duplicate geometry. So that's why we do not need to activate this checkbox. Select the CAD geometry. The body to use is in here, a medium. The solver is SimCenter Nastran. Analysis type structural. And then we can click OK to create FEM file and SIM file. Click OK. Now we have the solution window. We're going to rename it as linear static. And make sure the solution is SOL 101 linear static. And then we click create solution. Since we do not create any changes or any output requests in here, so we're going to use the default setting. We just click OK. Now let's review the SIM3 in the linear static. First we activate this one. In here we have a SIM1 SIM is the active environment. The active environment always shown in blue text. And this is the simulation file view. Also we can see in here the active environment is SIM1. Meanwhile the active solution is linear static in blue text in here. Now we return to FEM environment. We double click the FEM environment to activate it, and then we create 3D mesh collector. First we're gonna do is click on mesh collector. The element family is 3D, and then we click this one, create physical, and then click this to choose material. Go to library material, and then we select steel, this one, and then click OK. Click OK once again, and then we rename in here as steel. It's gonna make easier if we create simulation with multiple material. Now where's the location? It's right here under 3D collectors. Next we meshing the 3D model using 3D tetrahedral. We click 3D tetrahedral mesh, select the connector rod body, use CTetra10, this one. Now to find out what is recommended element size, we can click this one, click automatic element button. In this case, the NXCIE give recommendation 5.56 millimeters. So it means to achieve greater accuracy, we can use element size smaller than this. In here, for example, we can use element 3 millimeters. And then we also activate this one, attempt free map meshing, attempt multi-block cylinder, and also auto fixed failed element. This option ensure NXCIE only create element with good quality. Then Also ensure you uncheck this one and then select the mesh collector still. And then click OK to start meshing. We can hide this one, this coordinate system display, by click a W button. Okay. Now we're gonna create a single node in here. So we're going here, nodes and element. We can hide the meshing. Now we're gonna create node. Use this one, point a dialog between 2 points, between one center and to another center. So the specify point 1, the center of this cylindrical. The specify point 2 is this cylindrical center. So we gotta get the midpoint. Click OK. Click OK once again, and this is the node. And then we're gonna create 1D connection. We will create 1D connection using RBE3 that act as a support between single node, this one, and all node at cylindrical face. All this node in here. First, we're gonna create RBE3 mesh collector. Click on mesh collector. Element family is select 1D. Connector type, select in here RBE3. So the name by default is RBE3 collector. We can click OK. And then we're gonna create 1D connection using RBE3. Click on 1D connection. Use node to node. On source in here, we can use node, this one. So we're gonna click this single node. For the target, use a filter related nodes in here. And then also in here, we're gonna use selection filter as polygon face. So it means that when we click this face, all related node lie on this face will be selected. And for the connection element, is type is RBE3, and the mesh collector, what we already create is RBE collector 3. We can click OK to create this RBE3 connection. Now we're going back to sim environment to apply loads and constraint in here. First, we're gonna recolor the RBE3 collector by double click, edit display, and then click this color, and then we select, for example, the color is strong magenta. Okay. Now we're gonna apply a fixed constraint on this single node. First is the constraint type, fixed constraint. In here, we're gonna select node. We're gonna click this single node and then click OK. Then we're gonna add in here a bearing load. Go to load type, bearing load. We're gonna select object this cylindrical geometry. Please notice the bearing load only can be applied on a cylinder or semicircular geometry. And for the force, for example, we're gonna take 1000 Newton. The angle is 100 degree. It means the bearing load only applied on half the cylinder surface we selected. The distribution method is parabolic. Okay, the direction in to negative y direction. Okay, and then we click OK. So this is the symbol. Now we are ready to solve for the linear static case. But before we solving, we can click File, Save All. Okay, make sure you save all the parts before we start the calculation. And then we solve the model. Click Solve. Now in here, as you can see, the error message appear. Okay, because in here, the solve option, we also activate the checkbox model setup check. So it means that the NXCI will check all the possibilities, for example, material, mass, load constraint, and other before start calculation. In here, we have an error. If we click OK, in here it said the suggestion, the set parameter auto MPC to yes in the solution attributes. So it means we have to activate the auto MPC from no to yes in order to make this simulation can be calculated. Okay, we're gonna click cancel. Let's activate it. Right click on linear static, edit in here, and then we go to case control, go to parameters in here, and then we click create modeling object, and we scroll down. In here, auto MPC from no become yes, and then we click OK. And click OK once again. Now let's try to solve this one again. Click solve. Okay, let's click yes. We're gonna see the SimCenter Nastran convergence report in here. You can see in here from the convergence curve, we can see in here the simulation is convergence. It means we have a accurate result. Okay, we can close this all one, cancel in this one. Okay, close. Now let's do post-processing for the linear static. We double click on the structural. Now we enter the post-processing navigator. Let's check the stress elemental nodal. Double click it. It means we show the von Mises stress in here, the distribution. Notice the maximum stress is 14.51 megapascal. Let's hide first the 1D element, and then we do animation by clicking animate. Click the animate the play button. So this is the deformation that will happen if we apply a bearing load 1000 Newton on the top. You can also change the animation become smooth. Let's stop here, play again, and we can make it faster. Or we can do a full cycle. Okay, so this is the animate. We click close. Now this is the first solution, the linear static. The second, we're going to create a buckling simulation using same FEA model. How to do that? We go in here, double click, and then go to new solution. Now we're going to rename it as buckling simulation. Buckling simulation. The solution type change to SOL 105 linear buckling, and then we create solution. We click OK. Now the active solution is buckling simulation. The blue text in here, it shows that the buckling simulation is the current or the active simulation. You can see in here the status is active. Now for the buckling simulation, we need at least one fixed constraint and one test load. So as you can see in here, in constraint container, we have a fixed constraint and also the bearing load. But as you can see in here, the symbol is red hollow dot. This one also, it means both fixed constraint and the bearing constraint is not yet inserted into the active solution. Notice in here, the constraint still zero constraint, the load also still zero load. So we're gonna add this one by right click and then add to active solution or step. Now notice in here, we add this one and the symbol become red full dot. Also for the bearing, right click and add to active solution. Now it's inside the active solution, the buckling simulation. Now for the buckling simulation, we also need to activate the auto MPC. Go to cache control, the parameters, create the modeling in here, auto MPC, change become yes, click OK, then click OK once again. Now we have one fixed and one bearing load. So this bearing load value is 1000 Newton. We're going to consider this as a test load for buckling simulation. Then we click solve to start solve this active solution, the buckling simulation. Now the solution is finished. We can click yes to check the convergence. Go to SimCenter Nastran, convergence report. As you can see in here, is convergence, the eigenvalue extraction also the convergence. We can close all this window. Now we're going to the result for the buckling simulation. Double click this one. In here we have a report for the buckling simulation. Notice we have two types of report. The first is subcase statics. This is linear static solution due to compression load. The stress value is exactly going to be the same like as previously SOL 101 linear static. As you can see, the stress value is exactly same like this one, stress elemental nodal. Okay. And the second subcase under buckling simulation report is the buckling method, the first mode, second mode, third mode until the first 10 mode. So for the mode 1, for example, if we click displacement, here the unit displacement is 1.005 millimeters. So in here, and we also have it said the first buckling mode is 117.96. What does it mean? This is unitless. Okay, so it means that the part will start to buckling if the compression load is 117.96 multiplied with the test load 1000 Newton. So it means that the part will start to experience a buckling failure if we apply load 117,960 Newton. This is the unitless 1117.96 times our test load is 1000 Newton. So if we apply compression load to this connecting load with this value, it will start to buckle on the mode 1. And the shape is going to be like this. It's going to be shaped like this, the buckling failure. Okay, so this is the second type of simulation, the buckling simulation. The first is compression. Now we're gonna create the third simulation. Let's return to model. In here, we right click and then create new solution. And then we name it as free vibration. the change solution in here, solution type, become SOL103 real eigenvalue. And then we click create solution button. We click OK. Now we have a solution step window. In here, we just click create step. Now on solution step window, we can go to learn course data. Click this one. And then under frequency option, we have frequency range lower limit. We enter 0. This means we will find first 6 rigid body frequency to check the model quality. 6 rigid body frequency is related to 6 DOF or degree of freedom, so it should near 0. If not, then something is wrong or constraint present in the model. So it means that we have to enter value 0 in here for the lower limit. Now in here also for the number of desired modes, we're going to enter 15. So it means we will find first 15 natural frequencies, include rigid body frequencies and flexible body frequencies. Click OK when done. Click OK again. Now let's go check in here. The active solution is free vibration. Is the blue text in here. So this is the active solution. The status is active. Now in this simulation, for the free vibration, it should not contain any external force or constraint. Let's review. We have a 0 constraint, and also we not have any load. We should ensure we do not have any constraint or any load in here. Okay, to check the free vibration. Then we are ready for calculation. Let's go in here, click solve, and then OK. Click yes, and then we check the convergence. The solution is convergence. Okay, you can close all. And then we can go to post-processing. I double click this one. Now we have the post-processing navigator. We have free vibration here. Notice we get the first 15 normal modes. The first 6, mode 1, mode 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6 is called rigid body frequency, and all values are near to 0. It should near 0. It means our model is correct and accurate. The mode number 7 is first mode for flexible body frequency. So this is the first mode for the our connecting load in here. So we will focus on this one during a design stage. Let's expand this one. The first flexible body mode frequency is 2623 Hz. Let's see the displacement. This is the displacement, 4.136 millimeters, and the animation is gonna be like this. Let's hide the 1D. So this is the animation if the part experiencing natural frequency in first mode of flexible body. Let's close. Now we're gonna create multi-port view. Click on single view. You can see in here we have a lot of option. We can use this one, 3 unequal views. Let's plot this one. The largest window is the structural, the compression. Right click in here, click new plot. So this is the new plot. And for the second in here, we're gonna plot for the displacement, the mode 1. And for the third one, we're gonna plot the mode 7. Okay. Now let's hide the all RBE3 display for each window in here. Okay. Now we're gonna synchronize all this view. We click this one, synchronize view, click window 1, window 2, window 3, and then click the OK button. Now it's synchronized. And then we can animate all the post view in here by use the control button and then click all this one, and then you can click the animate button, enter the value, for example 20, the synchronous delay, activate checkbox full cycle, and then click play. Click close. Now as you can see in here, all the simulation appear. So this is for linear static, this is for the buckling, as you can see in here for the buckling, and this is the free vibration. So what's the conclusion for this tutorial? The conclusion is we can simulate any kind of simulation using one meshing model in NX CIE. In this example, we can simulate linear static, buckling simulation, and also free vibration. So that's it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching.